The West Division of the BeamNG Monster Jam Series heads to Houston, Texas at the NRG Stadium. Last week, Brendan Sunderland got a 29 en route to victory in El Paso. This week, the stadium is bigger, the obstacles are crazier, and the drivers are amped up. BeamNG Monster Jam from Houston is next.
It's about that time, so put it up, let's get it on. Made it this far, time to show the world who's number one. Number one, pull it up to the line, let's do it. Let's do it. Anything in my way, I'm running through it. I watch the lights and my hands are sweaty. I hear the people screaming, so you better get ready. Yeah, cause when it drops, I'ma take the shot, rock the spot, make it hot. Cause it's about that time. It's about that. It's about that. It's been a long time. It's about that time. It's about that. Cause it's about that. It's been a long time. It's about that time. It's about that time. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's about that time. It's about that. It's about that time. It's been a long time.
The end of week 2 of the BeamNG Monster Jam series heads out west to Houston, Texas. We're here at the NRG Stadium. I'm Joe Rakowski. Alongside me is Trey Bartow, and this is definitely maybe the most unique course we will go to here this season. It's not like anything else we've seen yet. There are obstacles everywhere around the stadium floor. What do you expect to see for these 14 trucks here tonight?
Well, with the way the stadium floor is looking, I'm expecting a lot of unique moves to be pulled out here, as well as, just some crazy moves. All in all, some big air, some crazy saves, some wow factors is what I'm looking for.
There are some big obstacles out here. There are some smaller obstacles out here. We have some crush cars as well. It's going to be a very fun show for the fans here in Houston, Texas. As what they saw last week in El Paso, if it's anything like that, these fans are sure in for a treat. But let's go to our field of trucks. 14 trucks here at Houston. Air Force Afterburner go out first. Evan Hunter behind the wheel. Then Summerdigger with Jake Galloway. And then Upset has Zach Antizan.
In El Toro Loco, we got Mathis Wells. Gravedigger, we got Colin Teague. Bad Company is driven by Nathan Stapleton.
Then we have Black Pearl, Laura Chung behind the wheel of that. Brodozer with Cody Anderson. And in the Titan truck, we have Samet Ozkin.
In Monster Energy, we have Riley Spurley Tube. Jester, we have Hunter Reed, and Bigfoot is Anthony Hernandez.
And the final 2 trucks to take to the course, Blue Thunder is Jacob Fitzwater Sr. and El Paso winner Metal Mulisha, that's Brendan Sunderland. We're going out now for our first truck here in freestyle. The man who finished last in El Paso out first, Air Force Afterburner Evan Hunter, wants to rebound after the poor performance to kick off the West Series for him. We'll see what he could do here in Houston. He'll start off the clock right there. Nice move off of that obstacle, and might pull it into Willie, and does early on a big move to start out his run. The flag's already gone.
Oh, that's all right. I don't think he really needs that flag. If anything, his truck's just more aerodynamic now as he does a nice little move over that other jump there. As a driver with this type of course, do you even think they plan out their thing, or do you think they just go for whatever they can get?
Yeah, if I'm a driver right now, I'm just going to go wherever the truck lands and hit whatever is in front of me at this point. There are obstacles littered around this course. It's not really it's not stylized in any direction. See right there off the single jump, nice there, got a little crooked on landing, but was able to pull it out, and he comboed it up into the van stack. But there are obstacles everywhere around this course. You can find yourself hitting something when you don't even think you will.
Oh, that's always the fun part about being the driver there. He, as you can see, he hit the brake, put the nose down, put it right back down as well. That little single jump there, he's going to get a nice little jump over top of that here. I've noticed here, the 2 little separate van stacks there. Last time we've had a van stack out, a truck caught on fire. So we'll see that happens again, but nice air over that little pod section there.
Evan Hunter, definitely a better run than what he had in El Paso. Going to go off there. That jump lands a little crooked, now onto 2 wheels. Can he try and pull it back down? He's trying to keep it off the wall while doing that, and it's going to go on its lid. Evan Hunter will not be able to fill the clock here. Just about 15 seconds remaining in the run, and it looks like as he got towards that wall, he tried to make sure he didn't hit it, but it just ended up flipping over once he hit the brakes. So take a look at some of the replays from this run. You'll see this nice air off of what we'll call basically the double stack. It's almost as if you're trying to clear double with that move.
Yeah, we'll definitely call that the double stack there, but some nice air. He does like a little wheelie perfectly onto the top of that little pod section there, so that was a nice smooth move to see here. But right here, that save, the 2 wheels did what he needed to do, hit the brakes because he saw the wall, but they just went into the out of bounds zone. So maybe they probably just RAI'd him just to be safe.
Yeah, you have to think that maybe they saw that truck going towards that wall. They RAI'd, and to start freestyle 19 for Air Force Afterburner. Not what he won. If he could have filled the clock, maybe he could have gotten up into the 20s, but he'll lead freestyle early on as the first truck out. And then next up, we have Son of a Digger, Jake Galway. He obviously at this point running El Paso, looking to rebound here in Houston. Nice air off that first hit, will combo straight into the van stack.
And you got to remember from the last event in Essential, we've only had, 2 or 3 trucks fill the time completely. So you got to think that these guys here in the West are thinking of that. That's their number one priority, is to make sure that they do fill that clock, just to be sure they get the max amount of time that they have.
And there are some heavy-hitting judges that we have on hand here tonight in Houston. They will definitely know what to score, how to score it, and I think this might be the fairest event in terms of scoring we'll see so far this season. But Son of a Digger, Jake Galway putting out some nice moves early on. It looks like he's trying to take it easy here, make sure he can try and get down to the final half of this run and try and fill this clock most of the way out. He's doing a great job so far, getting some nice air and doing some different tricks right there. That nice little wheelie there off of that stack.
Nice, really slap wheel there. He carried it out straight into that little, I don't know if that's a section of 3 separate jumps or one big jump altogether, but he carried it straight into there, all the way into the gray stuff, coming back in, lining up for the, I guess you can call that, I guess that would be the MX ramp there. Not really sure what to call that, but nicely done over that, straight into the pod section.
That's like a boxy MX ramp, I think we can call it. It's a little more square than normal, but it is basically the MX hill. But Son of a Digger, Jake Galway get down towards the end of this run. The final 15 seconds left for Jake, and it looks like right now he's had a solid performance. This could be a decent recovery after what happened in El Paso for him.
Yeah, maybe his just one plan is to make sure that he, fills up the time and doesn't crash out too early. He's going to hit the van section there. Nicely done. Maybe get one more hit out of it. Maybe a wow factor here as he's upside down over the other jump, and he's not going to be able to pull it back out onto all fours, but what a way to end his run.
Yeah, that was definitely a very solid run for Jake Galway. Definitely what he needed after what happened to him out in El Paso. Take a look at some of the replays right here. Nice air off of this ramp. He's going to land it perfectly to pull it straight into a slap wheel right there. That's about as good as you can get right there on landing for Jake Galway and Son of a Digger. Look at how long he carries this wheelie out. Actually hits that little berm right there. And then there's that, call it the V-shaped obstacle, I guess. I mean,
yeah, we'll call it the V jump. That'll work.
Yeah, there's just so many different obstacles out here. You don't know what to call them. Right here, here's that final hit. Huge air off of a van stack. Definitely don't expect that air off that hit. And right there, kind of lands crooked, gets up and over. Definitely an interesting way to end Jake Galway's run in Son of a Digger. We'll take a look at the scores as they're coming in. Is it enough to take the lead? It is. So it's a 23. Jake Galway now sits on the hot seat as the second truck out. Galway currently in the freestyle lead. Just took it from Air Force Afterburner Evan Hunter. And now we have Obsessed and Zach Antizana coming out.
We'll have to see what he can do here with that run of a 23 from Son of a Digger, which is nice, solid run and score there. But, we'll never know what to expect, so I would not be surprised if that gets taken over by a higher score. Nice air off that little single jump there. Looks like he tried to level out the truck to put it into a slapperly there, but he got caught up with the little pod section there over the V jump, puts it down nicely.
And where's he going to go next? Searching around for his next obstacle. Looks like it's maybe towards, I guess that would be the racing lane. I guess that they maybe transform that into something different. As we said, these obstacles are very, very crazy here tonight, and that's what's going to make this event so special. It's such a unique course floor. And you can see that nice air right there. Pounds it into the nose, pulls it into wheelie, and combos it up with a sky wheelie over the MX ramp. Getting a little squirrely on the landing there, but so far, a very, very good run for Zach Antizana and the Obsessed truck.
I always thought that was some fuel going bad from the engine, but I guess it's just the way the dirt colored with the smoke there. I was a little worried for a second, but I'm assuming the truck's all right. Doesn't seem like he's slowing down anything, but so far hit a nice solid run here. Some nice air off that pod section, a little bit sideways, but brings it back down. Not too hard on the landing, but going back to that V jump there, nicely done over top of that as well.
Nice air over the V jump. The final 15 seconds. What can you do to end out this run? It has the hopes right now trying to get by Jake Galway and Son of a Digger. It looks like he's going to go for the backflip ramp, the first of the night. Can he complete it?
Nice air off the wire and about as perfect as you can get into a little bit of an endo. What a move by him. I'm surprised. What a move.
He just ended on his lid. He knew time was up and he said, I'm done. What a great way to end Zach Antizana's run here in the Obsessed truck. Now, will that be enough to take the lead from Jake Galway and Son of a Digger at 23 is what he needs to beat? And I think he did what he needed to do to try and do it. But here's that final hit, the backflip into the moonwalk.
Yeah, the first truck we've seen do a moonwalk out of all 3 series here, and he does it perfectly. Lands the truck perfectly and puts it straight into reverse, and he ends up walking it.
And at the end here, the time expires as soon as he completed that first. section of the moonwalk, and they ended up just hitting the gas and putting it upside down. The score will be at 25, so now Obsessed, Zach Antizana moves into the hot seat, so 3 trucks out and 3 lead changes in terms of who's leading freestyle. We'll see if we get our 4th in, as it's now El Toro Loco and Mathis Wells. Let's hope this El Toro Loco version doesn't catch on fire.
I think that's starting to be a thing with these El Toro Loco trucks, is that they're either going to smoke like he's doing right now, end up on his lid, or catch on fire, which either way, the fans and judges always love to see.
He'll start out there with some nice air, trying to take it easy early on. Remember, he was the first truck out in El Paso, had a decent performance there, but it didn't really get him that great of a score, so he's hoping here for a little bit better here in Houston. It looks like he's carrying a little bit more momentum than he did in El Paso, getting some nice air and some nice combination moves early on this run.
That's always the nice thing about Monster Jam and all the different tracks, is that you could have one bad week at one place and come the next week and end up winning the thing. It always depends on, the way your truck's handling, the momentum you're carrying, and just the luck you have.
And it looks like he's going to go now, Mathis Wells, to the racing lane. Going to get some nice air off of that one. Take it to the right side of the van sec. He's going to turn around here, look for his next move, as he has now half of the run remaining. Go off that V-shaped obstacle, getting the nose down, trying to maybe pull it into a wheel. He just didn't have enough to get that nice air right there off the pod. Lands it beautifully on that. Now down to the final 30 seconds for Mathis Wells in the El Toro Loco.
I may be wrong about this, but I think this is the longest time the horns have lasted on any El Toro Loco truck so far out of all 3 series here. So he's doing a nice job keeping the truck clean with these final 20 seconds, though. But I think we're still going to be looking for a wow factor.
And there's some smoke there coming as he went over the jump. That's some multitasking right there. You're going about 15, 20 feet in the air. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This is not a good sign again with El Toro Loco and the crushed cars, but this time gets out of it pretty clean.
Backs it up over the pod. 1 second left. He'll get his last move in right there off of the racing lane onto the side, and will pull it back down. What a save for Mathis Wells to end out the run. Looks like he might just give a little bit of a photo op for the fans.
Might as well. I think that's the cleanest El Toro Loco truck we've seen so far. Any smoke coming out of him? I don't think we're going to get any smoke.
Yeah, I think this one able to keep it all intact. We'll take a look at a replay here. Here's that final hit, that save that Mathis Wells had to end his run. Just, I think, gassed it because he knew time was expiring. Hits the racing lane crookedly, and I don't know how that truck came back down. I think he just stayed in the gas and hoped for the best right there.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, Joe, with a score of 20, though. So a little lower than I was expecting to, but, I mean, not really a wow factor near the run, so it's good placement.
I'll put him in 4th right now, and this truck wants a redemption. You don't normally see Gravedigger go out 5th of 14, but Colin Teague did not have the run in El Paso he wanted, and I'm sure there's some mojo with that Gravedigger camp. Obviously, both of the Gravedigger trucks so far this week have had great performances. Zydell winning the thing in the East, and Colin Teague looking to do the same here in Houston with some nice combination moves early on.
Yeah, I think, let's see, Colin here with the runs his 2 teammates had. We'll have to see what he can pull out of his, bag of tricks here. Some nice air off of that V jump there, straight into the middle of the arena now. Starting to get some momentum building there over the pod section as well.
Yeah, remember, he broke off a wheel about halfway into his run at El Paso. After having some very nice momentum, some nice air early on that run, he's hoping he can fill the full 90 seconds here and maybe get a Gravedigger win to rebound after the just disappointing end to his run in El Paso, not filling the clock and getting about 10th of the 14 trucks that went out. He's going to cross right low right there, getting a little squirrely on landing, final 30 seconds, and where is he going now? Up onto 2 wheels and pulls it back down.
I think the truck was driving him at that moment. They're just kind of going wherever he's going to reverse it, cross-thread it over the little pod section there. Almost hitting the van, but stayed away from that one. Now he's going forward over the pod section there, over the racing lane. I think that is as well. Not really sure if that's the racing lane or not, but we'll count it straight into the backflip. Was that the backflip ramp, or was that the half of it? But he put it back on the all 4 wheels now. I don't know if he'll have enough time to get one last hit in. He's going to try for it, and he's onto his side again. Is he going to pull it out? No, he's not.
Colin Teague and the Gravedigger went off for the fans here in Houston, Texas. And if that doesn't take the lead, I don't know what will. That was a great run for Teague, rebounding after what happened in El Paso. Take a look at some of the replays. Here's that cross thread over the double jump. Got him a little crooked on landing, and he was able to somehow pull this thing out.
You can see here, like I said, I'm pretty sure the truck's driving him. He's just kind of holding on for the ride there. Luckily, it went all his way, and he was able to get it back down to all 4s. Luckily, the wheel didn't break off there as well. But I want to see this last hit here. Did he hit the... I don't even know if he... No, he got the corner of the backflip ramp, and it still brought him around somehow.
Yeah, and he was very fortunate. This thing rolled down the ramp like it did, got back onto all four tires, and I think he knew that time was basically expired at that point. He just wanted to go flip the truck over in some fantastic fashion. You see right here, he kind of hits that little berm, gets up onto the racing lane, and it kicks the truck onto two wheels as we're waiting for the scores to come in from the judges. There it is, a 27. Gravedigger and Colin Teague will now lead freestyle with that score. Ironically, that's what his teammate Justin Zaydell got in Tampa. That's just something to note right there. As the next truck out, we have Bad Company Nathan Stapleton driving this truck. We'll see what he can do to try and one up the Gravedigger run.
Already start with some cross-threading action over that pod section there. Nicely done. But as you said, Nathan Stapleton just saw Gravedigger come out, get a huge score for 27. So he knows what he has to do. Some nice air over the V section there. Lands it as perfectly as you can get. Now he's going to turn around and line up for the next hit.
Nathan Stapleton starting out with some momentum early on this run. Nice air over the double. Clears it with ease for sure. Actually pounces up on top of the pod right there. So a very heavy bounce for the Bad Company truck. But Stapleton able to take it in and just control it. Over the pod, more nice air. It's an air assault for the Bad Company truck so far. Nathan Stapleton so far putting on a show, but can he fill this final 50 seconds?
So far, he has the momentum to do it. We're just looking for a unique move, a wow factor, a save, something that makes his run different from everyone else. Some nice air again over the V section there. This man's loving putting that truck in the air. A little bit of a slap wheelie straight into the pod section again. Puts it down. Maybe tried to get a slap wheelie out of that, but the truck did not agree with him.
I think he's trying to beat the air Gravedigger guy. See some nice air over the van stack. He's had a lot of good air on two wheels a little right there. Pulls it into the double stack. Wheelies up and over it and puts it back down. 20 seconds remain for Bad Company and Nathan Stapleton. It's been a solid run so far, but if he wants to beat Gravedigger, he needs something huge in these final 10 seconds.
We'll have to see what he does here. Nice big slap wheelie. Landing it. He's going to be able to put it back around. Some sidewalls there. He does put it back around with 5 seconds remaining here. What's he going to do for his final hit? If he's going to get there in time, he's going to floor it towards the backflip ramp.
He may have gotten it.
Did he get it? He did it. I'll count it as a backflip for him. I'll count it.
And it looks like Nathan Stapleton going to turn around here, see where he's going to go. He's going to give one for the fans here over the MX ramp. That is it for his run, but a very solid run for Nathan Stapleton. Will that be enough to take over the lead from Gravedigger? I don't know. We'll just have to leave that up to the judges. We'll go take a look at some of the replays while those judges are getting their scores in. What was a very, very solid run for Nathan Stapleton. That air right there. He liked putting that truck high into the air for these Houston fans.
I think he definitely has the biggest air we've seen so far of anyone, like you said. But right here, puts it on his side, had the thought of mine to just gun it and turn into it, some sidewalls there, and then he hits the brake, and it puts it back around on all four wheels.
Then here's that final hit over the backflip ramp. It was very, very close to the end of the time, so we'll have to see if the judges counted that or not. But right here, it got up onto two wheels. Luckily, gravity brought that truck back down to all fours, and the score for Nathan Stapleton, a 22, a respectable run for him. That'll move him into 4th place currently. As we look out for the next truck, it's Laura Chung and the Black Pearl. We'll see what she can do after what was a very, very decent run out in El Paso. I think maybe just scored a little bit lower than what most people were expecting in that event.
Laura Chung, I made a mistake in the Central. I said Ashlyn was a female, and I have mistakenly apologized for that. We are all good. Laura is the only female, and she's starting to run off big time, and she's going to prove that she's worth it.
Yeah, she had a very, very good run in El Paso. Scored maybe just a little bit lower than what we were expecting up here, maybe some of the people watching as well. But she's going to try and come back with a vengeance and maybe win freestyle here in this Black Pearl truck. Get some nice air early on, clearing the pod section, pulls it into a wheelie right there, and will actually wheelie that wheelie into a wheelie. She's going all out here early on in this run. Over 30 seconds in, and just about 50 seconds remain. Where's she going to go next? Looks like to the double ramp. Nice air off of that.
Some big air from her is going to pop it up. A little bit of a cockeyed after that jump, or that little rebound there, but she brought it right back down on all four wheels. Now hitting the single jump. Nice air off of that. She's going to get sideways, though, on top of the pod section there, and that was a little bit of a lucky hit. Luckily, it didn't really hurt her.
She kind of crossed her at the V section as well. She's hitting anything she can at any direction. She's looking for something here, going off the racing lane towards the pod, actually. Getting a little sky wheelie with that right there. Pulls it back down. But it's been a very, very good run so far for Laura Chung and the Black Pearl. What can she do in these final 15 seconds? Off the racing lane. Some nice air on that one.
So far, some good momentum. Got crossed over the van section there. Now barrel rolling onto her side, and she's going to end it upside down with 5 seconds remaining there.
And it was still a very solid run for Black Pearl and Laura Chung. It might not win freestyle, but that was still a very, very solid run after a good performance. Elton El Paso showing that she definitely belongs right here. This nice little Sky Wheelie from the racing lane to the pod landed just perfectly to get that Sky Wheelie in.
Yeah, luckily that didn't really bite her too bad there. It's always a little sketchy hitting the jump, still in the air, but some nice air off. I don't know. I think that's the racing lane. I'm not going to lie, but right here, hit the van stack, got her upside down, hard hit on top of the cab there, just flipped her over and hard landing again.
Yeah, some very hard hits for Laura Chung. The score is a 23, though. That puts her into a tie with Jake Galway right there for third position. So a very, very decent run for the Black Pearl truck, that is for sure. As next out, we have Brodozer Cody Anderson. What can he do here to wow the fans in Houston?
We'll have to see. He's lining up for his first hit. Going to go for the pod section there. Some nice air to start off his run there. Landed on all 4 tires simultaneously, so he was able to control it. V jump right there. Some big air again. So far, it looks like Cody's going out for an air assault. Try to one-up Nathan Stapleton there.
And back to the V section, more nice air off that one, maybe even bigger than the last one. Pulls into a little bit of a wheelie, going towards the single jump, and will get a nice move off of that one as well. So once again, he's taking the truck basically wherever it will go, wherever it's pointing, he's going for that obstacle, because there are obstacles everywhere around this track. Back to the pod, some more nice air, and we'll land it almost on the down ramp of the other section of the pod, getting a little crossed up on the MX hill, and actually pulls it off that very, very nicely.
This is the one thing I've been seeing from this track so far is that, everything's so big and so scrunched together as we see some nice air, a little bit of a sky wheelie out of that as well. Lands it on all 4s. But as I was saying, everything's so big and crunched together that you just hope for the best once you hit a jump and hope you don't go straight into another one.
To the van stack as he's going to enter the final 30 seconds of this freestyle run. He's going to need a wow factor for sure to try and top Gravedigger, but this has definitely been a very, very solid run for the Brodozer truck. And he's looking for something big to end this run out in the final 20 seconds. To the racing lane, some nice air. Getting a little crooked, though. On landing, he hits hard. Up and over. Onto the sidewalls. And he pulls it back down. What a save.
What a save by him. I think he was along for the ride for half of it, and then he just had the presence of mind as wow, that was a weird motion from the truck there, but I think he's just gunning it at this point.
Yeah,
and he's going to flip upside down again into a parking spot, so he doesn't have to worry about parking anymore, into the wall. And he's upside down now.
And what a way to end the run that was for Cody Anderson, the Brodozer. It's a very solid run. I don't know if it'll be enough, though, to take the leads. We'll take a look at some of the replays here from this run. Some nice air, for sure.
Like I said, it was a sky wheelie, and then he hit the brakes and it leveled the truck out. Nicely done by him being able to maneuver the truck in the midair, making sure it lands the way he wants it to land.
And right here off of the racing lane, caught a little crooked there through the air, nosed it into the ground, and this truck was, as you mentioned, he was just along for the ride for half of it. And then the second half, he could actually do something about it, turned it into some sidewalls, and he was able to save that truck.
You couldn't even see half the time. The hood was up into his face, so nicely saved by him. And then we'll have to see, yes, right here. Lands had the wheel turned, so it just kind of threw the truck to a side here. Tire gripped, and like I said, straight to a parking spot.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to end the run somewhere in a crazy manner, and he did that for sure, into the wall, into the parking spots. We'll see what the score is a 20, so a little bit lower than maybe what some people were expecting on that one, but definitely right around where it should have been for sure for Cody Anderson in the Brodozer truck. As we look out next out, it is the Titan, and Samet Oz gets straight to the double stack. Huge air off of that.
He is not wasting any time at all. Huge air off the double stack there, straight into the van section. There's those cars and vans are getting crushed so far. But he's turning the truck around, going to go for the pod section here. Some nice air off that. The back of the truck kind of kicked out there, and he slammed the front of the truck into the ground, kind of like a land dart there. Not what he was hoping for, and then bounced off the top of the V section there. I don't even know what just happened.
And that could have been the end of his run right there with how sketchy that was, but he's able to pull it out. More air off of the van stack. As you mentioned, those vans are just getting demolished here tonight. About every truck has hit one at some point during their freestyle run, and so far for Samet Oskin, it's been a decent start to this run as he's now down almost into the final half of this run. What can he do to try and end out and wow this crowd to try and get by Colin Teague and the Gravedigger? Score to be a 27.
Yeah, the 90 seconds might seem like a lot of time, but for these drivers, it goes away pretty quickly here. So you got to do some nice air over the arena middle section there. Pretty much clears it all straight into the single jump, and he flips himself almost upside down, but he puts it back on the all 4 wheels with minimum damage to the truck.
Yeah, there is barely a scratch on that truck with how clean that was of a save. Where's he going to go next to the double stack? Off it sideways!
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh.
you'd never like to see a truck land like that. And for Samet Oskin, that one's gonna hurt tomorrow for sure. A terrible crash to end his freestyle run out. It had a lot of momentum. It had some crazy moments in it, and that one was definitely the craziest at the end. Right here, this combo move into the single stack, though, got him into some trouble. He's able to control it. Into the air, sky wheelie, got down to one wheel, and just luckily, it got that lucky bounce to come back down and land it back on all four wheels. But this last hit right here is definitely going to be one people are going to be talking about.
Yeah, this one right here, he did a nice job, and then it just almost started like corkscrewing. He just, right into the middle of the cab. That has to hurt. And I don't even think he's trying to save it at this point. He's just, if he's even, up. But a score of a 22, I mean, didn't fill the clock. I mean, that's pretty solid right there.
That was a very, very solid run for sure for Samet Oskin in the Titan. As next up, we have Monster Energy and Riley Sprotube. Last week in El Paso, it was a wheelie assault for this driver in this truck. We'll see what he can pull out here in Houston. It will be something different. Will he go back to those wheelies?
I don't know. I just noticed he has a 7-Eleven flag, so we'll call him the Monster Energy 7-Eleven truck from now on. But was that a sky wheelie into a slap wheelie into another slap wheelie, and then going to put it into another slap wheelie there? I mean, you just said it. He likes those slap wheelies.
He's the wheelie master so far in this series for sure. He's going to get some nice air off of the double stack and lands it and gets up in the air a little again. I mean, he likes to put that truck up as he's going the opposite direction this time, but luckily able to put it back down. Luckily that wheel didn't shear off when he landed.
That definitely could have just torn that reel right off, but he did a nice job there. Some nice air over the pod section there, and try to get into another slap wheelie there, but he doesn't. Goes over the V jump there, puts it down, nicely done. I was going to turn it around here. I don't know what that was. Maybe the suspension's a little messed up there. That front end of the truck reacted in a strange way.
He's going to go to the MX Hill. Some nice air for sure off of that one. Lands it hard, and what do you know? Pulled it into a wheelie, lost the flag, and he'll combo it up into the pod section. Nice air off of that one. So far, a very solid run for the Monster Energy truck. Riley Sprotube trying to back up his decent performance out in El Paso with another decent performance here in Houston. More nice air up and over the MX ramp. He'll go getting a little sideways as he lands down, and somehow the rear wheels of that truck have not broken off yet.
I think the flag's stuck on the truck. I think he just now kicked it off there, but some huge air again over that jump there into the middle section. He's going to get a little cross-eyed though, and there goes that wheel right there with the knuckle and part of the body, and he's stuck upside down. But he filled the clock.
He filled the clock and kicked the wheel away from him. A very decent run for Riley's Sprotube there in the Monster Energy truck. I don't think it'll be enough to take the lead, but it should be enough to get him into a decent ranking, probably into the top half of the field, you have to think.
Definitely has to be in the top end, I feel. You see this field or this hit right here, nice slap wheelie. I think next time he's out, we're going to have to count how many slap wheelies he does next time, because I think he's going to try to break a world record or something there, but nice combination move off the pod section as well.
Then this final move, this is going to be a very hard hit for Riley Sprotube in the Monster Energy truck. Huge air off the double stack. That might be the biggest we've seen so far tonight. Lands it hard, bounces up on top of the pod, and it just lands the wrong way. That tire's probably definitely weakened from the other hits he's had. And you can see it kind of just grabs out that front tire. Actually almost came back over, but unfortunately did not for Riley Sprotube in the Monster Energy truck. We'll see what the scores are. A 20, so that'll put him, I think that's a three-way time with Toro Loco and Brodozer for that spot in the freestyle order. As we'll see who's next out. Coming out onto the course, it'll be the Jester truck, Hunter Reed, coming out. Scored fourth in El Paso, looking to back that up with another top 5 result here in Houston.
Was already getting a little cross-eyed there over that little pod section, with these few trucks remaining with the score of a 27 to beat. You're starting to wonder what these drivers have to do. Some nice air off that single jump there. Almost put it onto his side, but luckily it kicked back over, and he's going to cross-thread the back of the MX section, something we haven't seen yet so far, so he's definitely finding new ways to hit obstacles.
Yeah, you got to pull out those new moves if you want to try and beat Gravedigger and Colin Teague, who had a very, very good run. Nice air off of the double ramp, lands hard, gets up onto the pod, drives off the pod. That's something we've seen a lot so far here tonight. Drivers hit that double jump, it lands them up onto the pod, and once again, sideways, puts it onto two wheels, puts it back down, straight to the V section. I don't think he ever slowed down when he hit it.
I'm starting to think he's doing it on purpose, going sideways off those jump there's just, get a little bit of a spectacular factor into his run here, but he's doing a nice job so far with 30 seconds remaining. Some nice air off the racing section, straight into the pod section, a little bit of a backflip.
Oh, no.
And he isn't going to be able to land it, but that was a different version of that forward momentum backflip people were trying to pull off lately.
And he almost had it done. If it would have gripped just a little bit better than what it did, he would have had that thing saved right here. You see off the single jump, you mentioned he liked getting sideways in the air, and he did right here, but unfortunately it bounced it back to the other side. Luckily for him, he was able to put it back down to all 4 wheels and gas up to the next obstacle.
Yeah, and then right here, some nice there off the racing lane, straight into that pod section, though. Again, that pod section, just a weird place. So you can see here, he brought it 3/4 of the way, and then the truck started to turn, hit the tires, and flipped them over to the other side. So not that bad of a hit. I mean, doesn't feel good, but score of 15, so it's what you got to expect.
Yeah, a lot of time left on the clock for Jester Hunter Reed. Definitely not the score he wanted out of his freestyle run. As we'll see what Bigfoot and Anthony Hernandez can do to try and top Gravedigger and Colin Teague. Hernandez had a very, very good run, a very solid run out in El Paso. We'll see what he can do here at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. We'll go to the pod first hit. Nose it a little right there. Maybe could have tried to pull into wheelie, but didn't have enough to do that. Straight to the V section for his second hit.
Looks like so far he's going to try to start off his run a little slower, try to get at least halfway, I would feel like, and then start turning it up some. Big air, sky wheelie off the MX ramp, straight onto the back of the double jump there, into another slap wheelie there. Nicely done by him. As I was saying, he's going to take it slow. I think he just took the words right out of my mouth and just showed me to be a liar.
More huger off the pond. That was a very hard landing on the rear of the truck as he went from that MX hill to the back of that double jump. Landed hard in the rear end, but that truck absorbed it well, and now down to the final 50 seconds, 40 seconds down.
See what he does here. MX jump again, some nice air, a little bit sideways though, and he knocked both tires off of the truck and the hood. What a hit!
And it barrel rolled him midair. I mean, that truck came right back down onto, I guess, all two tires now. But that's it for Bigfoot and Anthony Hernandez. Definitely not what he wanted, but it was a crazy run while he was out there. You see that skyway, and look at how it lands on the back of this truck.
That was a very hard hit, but then for the most part, it was about as smooth as a landing as you're going to get into a slap wheelie, like we said. Almost got a little, shaken up on that van here, and then this nice jump here.
And it just lands hard on the driver's side, and the wheels just shear off. And look at this barrel roll as it comes back down. I think if those wheels were there, it wouldn't have come back down. Since they were gone, it came back down. But unfortunately, since those wheels aren't there, he can't continue on. It's only a score of a 12. Obviously left a ton of time on the clock, and it was not going to be anywhere near the top for sure. Well, Blue Thunder, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. coming out. Narrowly missed the freestyle win out in El Paso last week. Lost it to Metal Mulisha, Brendan Sonderland. We'll see if he can try and get it here in Houston. Try and take it away from Colin Teague and Gravedigger. He started his run pretty nicely there.
We know he wasn't too happy about finishing second place. No one's ever happy with it, so I expect some big things as oh my goodness, that was a very strange hit off the pod section there. Luckily, it didn't rip the wheel off, so he's able to continue. But, I expect Zachary Fitzwater here to go pretty big to try to get that win.
And that hit could have definitely ended the run right there. That was a very awkward hit. Could have put the truck over as he goes straight to the double jump, gasses it, gets huge air, leaps directly over the pod with that move right there, and he's starting out pretty big here in the Blue Thunder, trying to give Gravedigger a run for his money. Sideways off the single jump, brings it back down onto all four wheels. He's trying to do whatever he can to get by that Gravedigger truck.
That was a very sketchy moment there. Luckily, it went all his way. Again, sideways off that single jump there. It definitely seems like it's catching people out. Some decent air over the MX section there. Kind of lands it straight on the bottom of the chassis itself there, but is able to continue it over the pod section. Nicely done there. It's going to turn it around here. Watch out for that backhoe there. That's kind of looks like it's jutting out there a little bit. Not sure who's driving that, but looks like he's lining up for the back of the double jump.
Where's he going to go with this? Straight to the other double jump! Oh, he did it!
He did it! He did it!
Fitzwater's the first one to do it, and that was basically perfect with the front wheels. He's going crazy now. Look at this.
He's the first one to land it. He's
no.
upside down now, flying through the air. I don't think he cares anymore. And it's going to almost pull back around, but he landed the forward momentum backflip.
And he landed it perfectly on the front wheels on the down ramp. We'll definitely take a look at that along with some of the other things. The question is, did that run have enough? It had that move. Did it have the rest of it? Gravedigger may have had a little bit better momentum, but Zachary Fitzwater may have had a little bit better moves. I would hate to be a judge right now.
I definitely would not want to be a judge right now. Luckily, I am not a judge, so I'm just the ones calling the runs here. But right here, we're just going to study this move real quick. Watch it in awe here.
Perfect speed at it as well. Got enough
And
kick
just
up.
guns it.
And look at that. Oh, just drove
perfectly
it down.
down the backside of that jump there. That was spectacular.
And now that opens a whole can of worms. That's a different obstacle they did that off of. Or people could try it at some other obstacles right there, as that was a hard crash and landing. Actually, almost came back over right here. But what is the score? What will it be? A 27 he has to beat from Gravedigger and Colin Teague? And it's a 26.
Oh,
1 point
my.
short. We mentioned how
That
close
might
the runs were.
that might cause some controversy. I'm not sure, but I know one person that's okay with that is Brennan in Metal Militia here. He is able, and we'll have to see what he can do. Get a 28, I believe, to win it. He's going to line up for the jump here.
He knows how to get big scores. He got a 29 in El Paso, a near perfect score.
He's backing up next to the backhoe. I think he's saying hi.
He's saying hi, and he's going to let it ride right here.
Huge air. And then he was able to control it. Again, like I said, the Leduc League, we're going to have to rename it to something because this man in this truck here, he loves to air it out.
And he is going off right now. He knows that he has the momentum on his side from El Paso's. Already he's in trouble, though. Sidewalling. Oh, my goodness.
Good. What a save by Brennan there in Mental Militia. Nicely done by him. Sidewalls. Momentum carried him all the way over to the other side, and luckily he was able to bring it back around. Now it looks like he's just going off here.
My goodness.
Huge air off the back of the double jump. He's just, I don't think he cares anymore.
I think, like you said, he doesn't care. He's just going to go wherever the truck takes him. Off of the V-jump, huge air off that. Landed on top. A little crooked, lands hard. Still going. Sky wheelie. Wheelie. Oh, no.
One wheel wheelie on top, and he's going to flip it upside down. That's not what he wanted to see at all.
And I think that is it. I think Gravedigger's just won freestyle with that. 30 seconds left on the clock. I don't see that taking the lead at all.
I don't see it either. I mean, if he was able to continue till the end with that exact momentum and craziness, he definitely, in my opinion, would have taken the lead, but he wrecked out with 30 seconds remaining, so I don't see there any way possible of him taking the lead.
We just saw that huge air. That was the first hit that he had in that freestyle run. Massive air, and it started out very, very well. This save right here, he tried to get it into some sidewalls, but maybe he realized that wasn't going to work for him. And I don't know if he hit the brakes or what right here.
I mean, a little bit of the brakes, gas, and gravity working in his favor here, and he just brought it back down on all four wheels. But this, last move right here, which I believe is coming up next right here, huge air. But, I mean, the momentum from him trying to save the truck after hitting that, double jump there, him carrying it straight into the pod section is just going to flip him around here, I think, once he lands on the back tire here.
And right there, onto one wheel, and he hit that lip of that ramp, and I think he just gassed it, hoping that something crazy would happen to try and get him up on top of Gravedigger. And obviously, as we mentioned, it was not going to be even close to a 15 for Brendan Sunderland. That means Colin Teague and Gravedigger rebounds after their bad day in El Paso to win, and all these runs on this first page had a lot going for them.
I mean, again, like I said at the beginning of this, I expect nothing but craziness to happen. We saw the first ever, in this tour at least, forward momentum backflip by Zachary Fitzwater. So it was absolute madness.
We'll have to see what the points look like after this. Obviously, 2 straight second-place finishes for Fitzwater gets him on top. Gravedigger up to second now. Mulisha third. But look it down around the cut line for the World Finals. It's a tie. So close for all those drivers down there, but still 3 events remain. Week 3 is going to be even crazier than this one. Obviously, the East, Central, and West. We'll see you guys next week.